All right, welcome everybody to the Now That's Savvy YouTube channel, the channel with the magical middle E for everyone. That's what it stands for because we're all in this together. That E actually is a silent E, and it's usually at the end of words. And I explained in one of my other channels, it's actually called a magical middle. It's actually called a silent E also, but I call it a magical middle E because I think it's clever. We're here today with musician Danny Eugene Moore. He's actually a really good friend of mine, and he's been so kind to give us a little bit of his time. He's this crazy schedule right now. He just released a double EP. Hello, Danny. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Excited to be on your show.
Oh, we're excited to have you. Definitely. Had an exciting idea, and I ran it by Danny. He actually liked it too. I thought I'd have a little contest with AI, my first video ever, and I was waiting to start this YouTube channel. I was really excited to do it, and I watched this guy, and he was an old dude from Cincinnati, and I was like, I'm gonna start this YouTube channel. This guy can do it. He inspired me, so I started. I had this idea where I was gonna have this challenge for these AIs, and I warned everybody about AIs, but it's a tool right now, so I'm using it. So I had a little challenge, and I was gonna have these three AIs come up with 10 questions for Danny, and me and Danny ran through them, and they were actually pretty good questions. Danny and I liked them, so we're gonna get this ball rolling. This was GPT's questions. We like their questions, so we're gonna start it off right now, Danny.
Do you want
Congratulations.
to
Go ahead,
do you
Danny.
want to do an introduction or just go right into the
Oh
questions?
yeah. Sure. How would I was just gonna go right into the questions. I know you don't have a lot of time. I know you had a hard stop at 3:30, and I want to play some music though. That's what I was wondering. Did you want to go into the introduction? That's fine with me.
Well, I just want
Tell
to
us a little bit about yourself, Danny. Go ahead.
I just want to thank you for having me on your show.
Sure.
I really appreciate the invite. And like you
Sure.
said, we've been friends, and just here recently, we really became really close. And I recently just started watching your channel, and I'm just excited about your journey too, man. I mean, it's inspiring, and I can't wait to hear where you go. I'm just a small town country boy guy trying to turn real life stories into songs, and the music thing doesn't work out. I might just start a podcast called "How Not to Become a Country Star." But you never know. But seriously, I appreciate being on the show, and um, you know, me, I'm just a small guy that's been through life and different experiences. And I'm a father of four biological children, and through marriage, two different marriages, two stepchild children that I claim as my own. You know what I mean? Um, just learning about life, and having other people come on board through this journey and this road is what it's really about. And this is what this music is about. Um, it's about what I can do with it, and what I want to do with it is use it in different areas. Just not just for music. I want to do speaking engagements. I want to do the music. I wanted to inspire others. I have a book project and stuff like that I want to reach people to help them through music. And over the years, I've learned through a lot of chapters, and I think really where I come from, I think I can help people.
That's great, Danny. I really like that, and I appreciate you doing an introduction and giving me the thanks. I was just trying to make sure that we have this going live on my first go live. This is my first go live, and I appreciate you, Danny, doing that. So we have a double go live thing here going on with YouTube. I'm trying to make sure I get the right one going. It just shows me right now, so I'm trying to change that setting right now. I'm gonna get that fixed right now, so just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, man, take your time, man.
Thank you.
We're all learning on this process.
I think they're both live concurrently, which is I don't know how they're doing that, but um, I think what I'm doing is I have I'm viewing one, so I'm viewing one on my screen, and I think it's just showing that one. So I think we're good to go, actually. So let's continue on. Either way, we have this recorded, and I'll post everything later. So let's start off with ChatGPT's questions. So Danny, congratulations on releasing "Finding My Own Way." We should have announced that the albums are called "Finding My Own Way" and "Finding My Own Way" Volume 2. We should announce it at the beginning. I apologize for that.
No, it's all
Anyway,
good.
Danny, congratulations on releasing "Finding My Own Way." What inspired the title and the overall message behind this project?
Well, a lot of things have inspired. Going over, I have 60 songs in my catalog written over the years.
Wow.
And Patrick, the title really came from life itself. Everybody goes through seasons where they're trying to figure out things out, right? I mean, really. I've had ups and downs, mistakes, heartbreaks, victories, and lessons along the way, like everybody else. You know what I mean? And at some point, I realized something: nobody really has life completely figured out. You just don't. And we're all just trying to move forward and do this thing together. I mean, really, that's kind of like what you're doing with yours. We're all together here trying to figure this thing out and going forward the best we can. So the title, Finding My Own Way, really reflects the journey. It's about learning from the past and going through it and continuing to move forward with life and just keep working and keep moving forward.
Definitely love that. You didn't stop at one; you just followed it with "Find My Own" Volume 2. What made you decide there was more of the story that needed to be told? I know you actually mentioned that you have 60 songs, which is very impressive. What made you decide there was more of a story that needed to be told? I think you kind of touched on that in your answer there.
All right, so yeah, that's a good question, Patrick. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a 4-part project, 4 different volumes of Finding My Own Way that will have released 5. There will release 5 songs for each volume, and then eventually I'll make that into a whole album that you can buy a physical copy or download. For right now, I'm just doing the EPs. Why did I release Volume 2? Because, like I said, it's a 4-part project. And honestly, when I was going into this project, I didn't want to just stop with the first one because I have a story. And the story hasn't been finished yet. So that's how I'm going to approach each of my projects. It's going to be a theme. And I think I want to keep it that way. Doing a theme of life. And so this one is really about reflection on how did I get where I'm at in life, telling my story. So it's through the emotions and expressions, and I just want to share that chapter with everybody.
That's pretty powerful. As you know, I've listened to it many times, and I'm inspired by your message as well, and your albums, of course. Back to the question, the phrase "finding my own way" sounds very personal. What experiences in your life shape the music on these EPs?
Well, Patrick, life itself shaped these songs along because, family, heartache, and pain, and joys, and happiness, and relationships, and faith, and memories, and just everybody experiences, not just mine, us as a whole, as a family, and friends, and different people that inspired me, and people that were negative as well, because those people, they shape you too in a way. It ain't always about the positive. It's also about the bumps in the road that hurt the most. I think some of the best songs come from real emotion, and that's why I try to bring it into my music.
Wow, that's really deep, Danny. You always give me my wife too. You both always give me perspective, as I talked about on my Monday wellness Monday talk about perception and perspective. Those are always hot key words we always talk about. That's pretty deep, man. The
Thank
negative
you.
people, That's a good one. My favorite saying I always talk about, and I say you have to walk through hell to know what heaven feels like. So,
Yeah, that's the truth, man.
wow, it's good stuff, man. When you're writing songs, what usually comes first for you? The lyrics, the melody, or the emotion behind the song? And I gotta put a caveat in there when we talked about this last night. That this one I'm really interested in. I'm interested in all these questions. But I really like that though.
I'm a very emotional person,
Yeah, me
and
too.
very emotional person. Always have been. Always been the backwards kid. Always been the shy when I was younger. Always felt that I wasn't worthy. Never found Had a hard time finding my own place. So tell you the truth, it's always the emotion comes first, um, or something that hits straight to the heart. Uh, a memory, a moment, even just a thought. The lyrics start forming around the feeling that I have. Just usually does. Angry, mad, sad, broken, happy. Sometimes a line will pop into my head, and the rest of it will just flow and build around it.
I definitely love that. Connect with that. I mean, I started my acting journey in college, and they always tapped into that. And I love great acting. I shouldn't say this, but I hate bad acting, and usually they tap into great actors tap into that emotion. You're spot on there. Is there one track from either EP that means the most to you personally? And I know this was tough for you last night because I know they're all special to you. Um,
Yeah.
and why that one?
So w- I will say this, one song that people have really connected with is I Was Your Strawberry Wine. And of course, that's a story told from the great classic Strawberry Wine from the 90s. And I think that song just brings back a memory for everybody. Everybody's had that one heart that got away or didn't know, or, that first love, or in that moment of being 17, you know what I mean, or younger.
Definitely.
And so when I wrote that song, there was a lot going on in my life that was really special.
I got coach
And,
chills. Definitely. I went right to it. Yeah.
and I won't say who the person is out of respect, because
Sure.
I won't name drop, but um, I always told them that they were my strawberry wine, but I felt like I wish that I was her strawberry wine. And I think that song really emotionally goes back for a lot of people. But right now, a lot of people is connecting with "She Don't Love Me Anymore" off the Volume 2. But the one for me that is raw and real is "When the Light Comes Through," because that's my story. That's my foundation. That is who I am. This is why I wrote these songs. This is why I'm doing this. And
Yeah.
when the light comes through, that's me. That's my story. So that one.
Yeah. I think you said that started the journey last night. That's good. I like that. What was the most challenging part of creating these two projects?
I think the biggest challenge is getting over your emotions, because when you're writing songs from your life or past, you're really doing therapy on yourself, because you're going back to hard times, you're going back to happy times, death, breakups, lost parents, to bullying, or being hurt, or mistakes that you had made. So you were really reflecting and going through, and you're writing these lyrics, but they're yours. They're your words. They're your cries. And I think that's the hardest part, when you get past that. But then when you start putting it all together, um, everything starts coming together. And that's when it's really rewarding. But I think the most challenge is having to reflect and go back.
Yeah, definitely. You're the one that, I mean, it kind of seems kind of obvious, but you're the one that told me. I know we're good friends. You told me poetry. I mean, obviously, people say all the time that poetry is the songs. I mean, they're your words that you just said, and to underline that, the poetry are words and songs are poetry. I think we lose that. We kind of lose that even in today's culture. I mean, who are some artists or influences that help shape your sound while making these EPs? I think we talked about this. I put these albums here for a reason. Chris Stapleton and Morgan Wallen.
Oh yeah, I love a lot of the new music today,
Mhm.
like Morgan, Chris, and Hardy, and some others, and they're amazing. A lot of people are. It's hard to let go of old country because that's what they grew up on, and I am definitely old country. George Strait and George Jones, and even not even just country. Michael Jackson plays a big part. Man in the Mirror. That's a
Definitely.
that's a song that will always stick with me for my whole life. The Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly. Those guys inspire me. Those are sounds that is a big part of who I am. But not just that. Parents, mother, dad. Dad is no longer here. Brothers, sisters. Everybody's played a part that inspired me in a way or another. Grew up listening to the classic countries. Anything that's storytelling. Really, storytelling is what I love the most.
Everly Brothers from Kentucky. Most people don't know that. If someone listens to "Find My Own Way" for the first time, what do you hope they walk away with, feeling or understanding?
Finding my own way is what people didn't expect. It was for the naysayers. It's for the ones that you can't, you won't, you can't be. That's why I wrote that. I found my own way, doing my own way. It was breaking the chain of what I believed and heard those voices for years that stopped me from trying to be something extraordinary or special. And really, we're all are special, and we're all talented in something. It's just having the courage to break through that noise. And I really hope they feel understood and connecting with people through the shared experiences. If someone hears one of my songs and it reminds them of a moment in their own life, music did exactly what it was supposed to do. That's what I want. I want the music to do that. I want to help them feel.
Wow, what a great, powerful message! You talked about that earlier. You made me go back to when you were talking about when you were struggling to find your own way when you were younger. You talked in that question earlier. That's cold chills again. Man, I need to turn the heat up in my house. Oh, cold. It's these darn Chat GPT questions. I told you they got us there last night.
Yeah. You got the
winners,
heartstrings
man.
on.
I don't like to talk about it being so good. Chat GPT is winning this AI race. My goodness.
Right on.
Now that Volume 1 and Volume 2 are out, what's next for you musically? More singles, another EP, or maybe a tour or a new album or another? What's going on?
So I'm doing a 4-part project, releasing 5 songs every month.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're good. So volume 3 and 4 will be next, and after that we will bring them all together to bring one solid album together, and hopefully try to get some good sales versus just streaming. The goal really is to be heard by somebody more famous, known, that picks up my music and is like, man, you know what? I would love to make that my own, or I would like to cover that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I am not a much of a live touring guy. Not saying that I won't do it, studio driven. I was sick for a couple of years with some health scare, cancer in the throat, and my voice really would not be able to handle being able to sing 20 songs, day in and day out. It gets tired and it gets lazy, and um, so I have to use tools and things to help me sound a little bit better. I mean, just the way it is. Um, so I mean, that's just being honest. Um, but right now, I'm excited to see where these songs go and how people respond to them. And support so far has been amazing. I mean, really, it has. I'm just going to keep writing and creating, and my goal is the hopes that somebody more famous and known would be like, you know what, I relate to this and I love it, and I would love to be part of it.
Well, that's a inspiring story and a great explanation. I kept messing with this album because we went to go see this guy because I introduced him a few years to my son who you've met. I introduced Morgan Wallen to him a few years ago, and when we were driving through Boston, we had the top off the Jeep and everything. We were jamming through the downtown Boston. He loved it, and we went to go see him last year. Spent a boatload of money, of course, too much at a Minnesota concert. And I shared this guy that reminded me of you. His name's Brian Martin, and he's an older guy too. And he just he only had to do 4 or 5 songs. He was so far back because we were in Minnesota, huge concert. But you only had to do 4 or 5 songs, so you know you don't have to do many songs, and who knows what the future holds. Um, so when do we expect these? When do we expect these? Do my joke here. When do we expect these 2 albums, Danny? These 2 other albums coming up.
So
Reporter.
so let's look for April.
April.
Don't have a date. Hopefully, first week of April will be Volume 3, and that will be more of a different sound that you have heard from 1 and 2.
Okay.
This one will be more of a today's sound and more of a upbeat and a little bit of country hip hop feel to it.
Cool.
Not so much of the rock sound or the slow. Then May will be Volume 4, and that one's a surprise. That's going to be completely different from the rest of the 3, and that's the whole project of this whole thing, is bringing all these together so that you can get a different feel of my journey here and where I'm at.
This just sounds so awesome and exciting. So for the fans discovering you through this live event today, where can we follow you and support your music today? This is the last question. And before you answer, I'm going to have all the links in my YouTube channel and for what you share with us also. And I know you're going to send me some extra stuff too. So I have that all in my channel as well. But go ahead and answer.
Yeah, you can actually find my music on over 145 platforms.
Oh, wow.
All the major ones. The major ones is, of course, Spotify. That's the one that I recommend the most. And Apple Music. Then you got Amazon Music, where you can listen through their streaming, or you can actually download that the EPs by single or by the EP on Amazon.com. And of course, YouTube Music. That right now, that seems to be everybody's go-to and favorite as right now as the report show. We'll just name those for now. Then you can share the others because there's so many. Those are the major ones that you can find the music.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's too much to share those 145, but definitely share those put them in my channel so I can. I think
absolutely, man.
Put those links in there because I want people wherever. I don't want them to be restricted, and I want them to find them wherever you can. You're such an amazing person, artist and soul for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. No, I appreciate your kind words.
You know, I mean it. I'm a very honest person and lost a lot of people that don't like that, but I'm very honest. Danny, if someone can channel, or if someone in our chat or listen to this later on, only listen to one song from your EP tonight or whenever they listen to it, which one should it be and why?
Nah, that's a tough one, brother.
I know. We said it was a bonus question, but we gave it to ChatGPT. Put a little star here.
That is really hard, but someone could only listen to one. I think your Strawberry Wine would kind of set the tone of what my music is, and kind of feel for me. Like everybody has that one signature song, and I think that is the signature song. But I would have to say, When the Light Comes Through. That's the foundation. That is my story. So I'm going to pull one on you here. I'm going to say When the Light Comes Through, but then after that, go listen to Find My Own Way, because that follows up with that. Then I would say third, go listen to We're Still Family. Then that would give you kind of a feel of my heart. Then after that, my signature, I Was Your Strawberry Wine.
You got me on that last one. That got me. I cried. I sent you a text message and cried during that one. That's a tough one. Okay, well, that's the end of the first ChatGPT. Let's listen to a little bit of I get to choose. So let's see how. Let's go to that first one here. Let's go to that first one. You said let's see how it sounds here. This is Finding My Own Way. The name of the EPs. Tell me how you can hear it.
Sounds good. Bring it down a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
I turned it up a little bit because it has this. Oh, here we go. Tiny footsteps by my side. Dream so big I cannot hide. In the waves I chase the tide. Memory sparkles in the air. Thoughts of wonder everywhere. Heart so strong, no need to fear. In my mind, I see where. Finding my own. Sorry, man. I'm not supposed to do that, but I feel it, dude.
No, man. I love it. Love it. Thank you for loving it. That means so much to me.
Well, it does help when you love the person too. And I love you, know that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Thank you.
I don't want to cut it off, but people will listen to it. It's great. We'll stop it there. I want to make sure I know you have a heart out, and I don't want to keep you. I want to get through these questions because I love talking to you and I love people getting to know you. We're going to move on to Gemini's questions here.
Okay.
I think they did pretty good. Out kind of the middle of the road ones, but there's some good questions. After all the talking about, it's a good segue there. I do love you, and after all the years we've known each other, why did 2026 feel like the definitive moment to put this specific story out into the world?
Life's too short. And if you just keep waiting for the right opportunity, that opportunity ain't going to be there, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's been many times in my life where I've almost lost my life. And either it be suicide, or if it either be accidents, car accidents, or falling off a cliff, or being held at gunpoint during a robbery, especially through the health and sickness and cancer, really has set different perspectives in my life. Life's too short, and why not share it with everybody? I don't think anybody has a story that's not valid. I don't think anybody is not worthy. I think everybody's worthy. I think everybody has a value to share. And so sometimes life just lines up and you realize it's time to share your work, your life with the world. And
Amen. Even our enemies, as you talked about earlier, even our negative people.
you're right.
Sometimes they shape our lives into where we are today.
Absolutely, man.
Wow. Great stuff, as usual. Wow. We've got volume 1 and volume 2 out at the same time. How does Danny we hear on the first EP differ from the one we meet on volume 2?
So volume 1 was really hard to pick what 5 songs. It was extremely hard. I thought it would be easy, but it wasn't. Because in volume 1, you want people to relate to you the most. So volume 1 was hard. Just like life is hard. So I think volume 1 shared where the journey starts, and then volume 2 is hoping that you will get on board to the journey. So volume 1 is jumping on that train, getting on board with me. The journey 2 or volume 2 is the journey, reflecting on the journey with me. It's a deeper reflection on volume 2.
Right. I get it. As your friend, I've heard you talk about a lot of music over the years and different things, and I still learn. We all learn about each other more and more. I'm just been blown away by this interview as it is. But is there a song on these EPs that was so personal or difficult to write that you almost didn't include it?
Well, I think You Don't Love Me Anymore.
Right.
That was a song that was written years ago. I won't say how long ago because it'll kind of give it away
Yeah.
who that song was about.
It was tough for me to listen to. I texted you during it. It's
that
good.
song there, a lot of my songs and things I've written, went back and rewrote and or changed titles or stuff like that. That one I left pure and raw as it was in that moment. So those feelings were when I was going through a very difficult relationship time. Like I said, I won't reflect on what relationship it was, but I will say I was at the end of the road of being, married. But I will say this: that one almost didn't. But I will tell you one that did not make it yet. I'm still working on it, and I think it will come out in volume 4. But that was Danny Boy, and Danny Boy was a song that I written when I was 8 years old. It was the first time I wrote a song.
Wow.
And I always thought that I wouldn't live a long life. I always thought that I would die young. I've always thought that, and I still, to this day, I know people hate hearing that, and friends and family always say, "What are you talking about?" I just always been on my mind. But anyways, Danny Boy it was a song written in the perspective as if I'm already gone.
Wow.
And it gets a little close to home. It's a very emotional song. I wrote that song when I tried to commit suicide years ago. And it's a song that it did not make it yet, but I believe it will make it. Danny Boy.
Wow, powerful stuff, man. Thanks for sharing. That's hard to follow up questions with that, Danny. Thank you. We should have. Wow. I take a breath on that one.
You know, life is real, man, and hopefully, if somebody's listening to this, then you know, maybe something that we're talking about will help them.
Most
You know what I
definitely,
mean?
most definitely. And that's what we're doing it for. Releasing two EPs is in 1 year is a grind. Did you write these as one big project, or did Volume Two start to take shape only after the first one was already in the can?
So after looking at my catalog of 60 songs, you know, I knew I was wanting to do something special. So I started going through the catalog and finding a theme. So I found a theme of 5 songs, and I would find another theme for the next volume, 5 songs. So I just kept it as a theme, storytelling. You know, I found the way to storytell uh, my life, and I think
So you're
some
saying
of
only
them.
60 songs. So I
So,
mean, stop you. So that means you have 50 left. Are you going to do 25 and 25 on the next two, or are you going to break some of those down?
so I might do some singles after
Okay.
this
Okay.
project. Then see how everything goes after that. Then I
Right.
think the
Play it by
next
ear a little
project
bit and see how the success
I
goes.
I have some of the, you know, because I have written songs earlier in life, and I have written songs that I've just written. So I think some of my early stuff, I think I might go back and retweak them and make a couple singles out of those. Then, like I said, everything that I do, I want it to be storytelling, a theme. So I think I will do another album instead of EPs. I think it will be after a few singles. I think it will be probably a 16 track or 20 track album.
Awesome. Awesome news. Um, I know we talked about this earlier, and I really thank you for doing this. In our pre-production meeting, we knew a live event was going to be tricky, but this question, I'm excited to hear about this. If someone were to describe the Danny Eugene Moore sound in 2026 using only 3 words, what would you want those words to be?
Man, that's really hard, man.
It's such a hokey question, but I
But
love to hear that.
you know, I think honest, emotional, storytelling.
Perfect.
Maybe heart. I know that's 4, but
Yeah,
um,
bonus word.
I want when people hear my sound, I want them to feel comfort and you
We'll
know,
do a hyphen word. That's a new
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
A hyphen
yeah,
word. There we go. Heartful
yeah.
storytelling is one word. How about that?
Right there, you go, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There we go. That's really good. I like that. Music is rarely a solo sport. Who was the unsung hero in the studio for these sessions that helped you translate the sounds in your head onto the record? I didn't clear my throat there accidentally.
You know, there's always people behind the scenes who help bring the
Sure.
music together. Um, I am solo everything that I do, to performing, to editing, to remastering, mastering, to the sound, finding the sound, the lyrics, everything is me. Um, I do all that. Um, Not that I don't want to bring other people on board. It's rewarding for me. I like challenging myself to my creativeness, and to be honest, a lot of people don't see you're creative, and I just went for right now. I would like to keep all the creativeness in my hands. And now I do reach out to people for advice or professional help with certain things, you know, but I like to try to learn, and I like to try to execute uh, my brain the way I think and how I feel things should be made and do. Now, with that said, the unsung heroes are my family and friends. My mother, my dad that passed in 2003. my kids. My kids are my best friends. All my children are my best friends, and they help shape who I am. They no matter what, they're the ones that keep the glue together for me. And my siblings, my brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles, cousins, they all played parts in my life. Um, and other people, but I would have to say they all helped me truly, and I thank all of them.
That's super awesome. I was going to tell you, you made me think of some. You always do, but you made me think of some amazing things there, and some pretty cool things. Some current events also that we've gone through in this do-it-yourself world that we've come into. The scan yourself aisles we go through. Um, it's pretty poetic. You can do it now. I hate using this word, but this COVID world, that post-COVID world that we're in. I mean, everyone from Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, all these other people, they're in their studio now. They do it themselves. A guy
Yeah.
you talked about, you and I both love, of course, and many people do. Michael Jackson, his biggest rival was Prince. Before this was a big thing, he had his own studio and recorded so many songs. Um, Still has plenty of them on the shelf. But you talked about it, doing it yourself. Well, I don't want to say this, but when the famous saying is, "If you want something done right, you do it yourself," and I think that's a good message to put out there because I think you're doing it right, man.
Yes, there's truth in that, but it's also everybody's learning, and I think
Sure.
everybody has an opportunity to be a teacher or a guide. Um, Sometimes it just takes encouragement from someone to open the idea up, and that's really what I want to do is share, and we're all on this road together. I don't want to keep anything that I know a secret. You know what I mean? And that's why I like trying to be challenging myself and doing things on my own because I learn from others, and I want people to learn from me too.
Hey, yeah, I learn from you every day, my man, and that's a good follow up, good segue into this question here. Spoiler alert: you're an awesome. I don't think it's even one of the questions, but about they always do this in interviews about learning something. If somebody wants to know something about you, but you're an awesome movie fan, and this is actually a movie question. Um, if Finding My Own Way Volume 2 was the soundtrack to a movie, what would the opening scene look like?
Oh wow!
Where are we? What's the vibe?
So it's going to start off on a quiet road, sunset, me reflecting back on life, me as in the age that I am right now. And it's going to fade out and fade into when I was a memory, when I was 5 years old, back in Kentucky, Brandenburg, when when the house was falling apart. An old farmhouse, mom, dad crying, me, a little boy sitting in the middle of the living room playing with my Ninja Turtles, my Hot Wheels, not really understanding what is happening in that moment, but that little boy, his whole life is changing. That's because they're getting divorced. Daddy's telling mom he's moving on, and watching him pack up and leave, and mom sitting there breaking. That's that's it.
Powerful stuff, man. As usual. Whew. Okay, was there a specific instrument or a new recording technique you experimented with these on these volumes that totally changed the directions of a song?
So, what was it? I'm sorry, I got lost.
I know that last one was a good one. I was trying to move on. It was a deep answer, man. You took us into a fantasy world, and I was there too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
painted a picture as the song Jesse. Song goes. You painted that picture, Jesse. Was there a specific instrument or a new recording technique you experimented with on these volumes that totally changed the direction of a song? I think you kind of touched
So
on this that you evolved all these songs. Really, you're evolving the sound as you go, which is pretty cool.
yeah, so I mean, you'll hear a lot of the songs have the similar sound. I wanted to do that for a reason. Um, Even the country rock to some of the slower ones, you can still hear that sound. When you listen to Aerosmith, which is on your shirt,
Oh
awesome by
yeah,
the way,
thank you.
they have a sound that you just know it's them. When you hear Guns N' Roses, you know it's them. You know what I mean? They don't even have to speak one lyric. You just know it's them because of the sound. That's what really I'm really trying to find is that unique sound. And you steal shamelessly from others to try to learn, study. Um, I think studying George Strait and Everly Brothers and even the Beach Boys down to Bon Jovi, um, trying to find different unique sounds and you try to mimic them the best you can. So, sometimes the sounds that I do find is accidentally just playing around, you know. Some of the sounds that you'll find in the music is just simple things that I use, banging on a cup or just playing around on electronic keyboard, a digital keyboard, just like, oh wow, that how can I put that in there,
Definitely.
I'm very curious and I explore a lot. Um,
One of my favorite
I
people that does that too is Ed Sheeran. He does that a lot.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that guy Charlie Poof, I think that's how you say his last name.
Charlie Puth. Yeah, he's a really good one. Yeah.
I've been really the past year. I've been really following him a lot. That dude, just
Very
musically, just
underrated, actually. I know he gets a lot of streams and he's like one of the most followed, but I feel like even Taylor Swift called him out on one of his albums that he doesn't know why he hasn't got more awards. I mean, that guy his vocals are insane.
it is, but his music knowledge is just incredible, and
Yeah, I got
I
coach.
can I
It's
can
so
just
crazy.
he's got a YouTube channel too, and I follow it,
Oh
and
yeah, you need to share that with me. I need to look at that. I
and
love Charlie.
I mean, the dude's just amazing. But anyways, I get inspiration from a lot of things, and a lot of times things are just accidentally. I mean, truly.
Yeah, love it, love it. I love talking to you, man. I learn something all the time talking to you. For the people watching right now who are just discovering your music today, which track from either EP do you think is the handshake, the one that introduced them to your soul best? I love I love that Gemini put soul best. I feel like you have a lot of soul in these two EPs.
So I think Ben with the Wind is the most soul related. I think really. Strawberry Wine or I Was Your Strawberry Wine kind of sets the mood. But if so far people are not really giving Ben with the Wind a real chance, and if you really just listen to the lyrics, I think it can help you overcome a lot of things in life.
Right on, brother. Right on. Now these are all out in the world, and the finding is documented. I love that he put. I love that we were talking about Gemini putting these quotes in there. Is documented. Where is the road taking you next? I know you kind of talked about that last time. You talked about the albums being released. Um, we kind of touched on that one last time. You don't want to talk about that, we can move on to listen to another song. But um, what about
Um,
let's actually follow up on that one. I liked what you talked about that. Let's actually follow up on that one. You talked about April, May. So what's after May?
I think a couple singles, but then I think I'm going to be working on my next project that kind of ties in with the music. I'm really into self-development and self-help. And I think I would like to intertwine the two together, self-development, self-help, and the music, and start making some music that really channels on helping people overcome certain situations and stress and chaos. And like I said, I have a book that I've been working on for the past 2 years. I'm hoping to get that out there, and a few projects that the self-development, self-help. So I think what's next is trying to figure out how to bring those together.
Dude, I was going to tell you, I want to spoil people that you're a triple threat. You're like a quadruple threat. Like, oh my God, what's going on here? I'm not going to spoil my gifts. I'm going to get you for doing this and other things that you've done, man. You're an amazing person, but it's going to tie in great. You're going to love the gifts I have for you, man. I appreciate you doing it. I didn't do that for this. I do it because you're my friend. You're an awesome person. I didn't forget what you said about, I'm sorry to talk over. What'd you say there?
No, I said thank you.
Oh, yeah. I didn't forget about what you answered. I know it might have thought about that, but you said you had a great question to answer earlier. I wrote it down. You said your pathway about you, you little tricky little guy. You said it was supposed to be one song, and of course you said 15 songs, even though there's only 10. But you're like, you named 4 of them. I was your strawberry wine into when the light comes through, and then find my own way into family. So we'll start with we're done with chat GPTs. I'm sorry, we're done with Gemini's. We're gonna go into I thought was my favorite Grok, but he came in last. Being terrible. We're gonna go to a little bit of Why Was Your Strawberry Wine. We'll finish with Groks if that's okay with you, buddy.
Yeah, that's perfect, man.
Here we go. I Was Your Strawberry Wine. Sound good? That volume okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Great beginning.
Oh yeah.
Feel your hand in mine. You sang about you like it slipped away. But girl, so did mine. We were more than a moment, more than a song, more than young and reckless time. You called it a memory, I called it mine. You say it changed, you left them all. Girl, you did the same to my heart. I was your strawberry wine, sweet and gone too fast. Yeah, I was young, I was wrong, but I was real back then. Not a match. You say it was bittersweet, like it only lived in 99. But every time you sing that song, you're singing about peace of mind. Yeah, I was your strawberry wine. Didn't have much figured out, just took some hope.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I know
brother.
That is solid. Oh, wow. I don't
appreciate the love.
sound like a fanboy, but I want people to discover it on their own. Wow. Anyway, we're gonna go into Groks here. I like Rock a lot. I want to go into too much detail, but I just like I like the creator because Elon Musk might be a bad stuff, but I just like because he's a dreamer like you and I. He focuses on things that are big picture stuff. I'm a big picture kind of guy. He focuses on big problems, and he's a dreamer, like we are. And I changed Mario Day. I'm a big Super Mario person. Mario Day was yesterday, March 10th. And I changed my coffee cup today because of you. Most people know this about you, but you're a very calm guy, very passionate and awesome.
I love that so much, man.
Keep calm and follow your dreams, guys. I started my YouTube channel. You started this EP and music journey. It was serendipitous. Oh, yeah, your sign. Oh, man. Yeah, that was awesome. His sign is great. Go and read it for us.
Believe you can, and you are halfway there. That's it, man. Just believe you can.
I mean, it's a belief in the faith thing. I mean, you were right. You got to have the faith. You got to believe in yourself. That's true. That's that's it. You're halfway there. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I say in my I say in my personal life all the time to family and friends, you gotta love yourself before you can love everyone else. You know, and you gotta believe in yourself. Or anyone else is gonna believe in you.
Absolutely, man.
Danny, for those tuning in who might be new to your music, can you share a bit about your background? Oh, geez, Grok's behind on the gamer, and what inspired you to start creating "Find My Own Way" as your debut EP? So we actually started. We talked about this in pre-production that we were going to start with Grok, but we changed up the order a little bit because Grok he lost his order in the back in the lineup, but um, I think he shared a lot. Obviously. Grok thought he was going to be leading off the order here, so he got put in the back. I
Yeah,
just I just think that you haven't, I want to share a little bit about, if you don't mind. I think you inspired me because I'm gonna share a little bit about a story of mine real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
So I wrote a poem on wife 22 years ago, and Danny, as you've heard a little bit of his music, and hopefully you guys are going to share or listen a lot more, and I know you will. Danny wrote this poem. He changed my poem into a song, and I cried the whole song. I did not expect him to do this gift for me, and I'll never be able to repay it. And I don't want to start crying now. He's inspired me to do. I'm going to try to get back into singing. I was classically trained a long time ago, and he's like, dude, it's a tool. You got to work on it. And I went back into the recording studio, and it sounded terrible. I'm going to start working on it. Either him or I are going to put these songs that I've got in the vault myself and release stuff. This isn't about me. This is about him. I just thought I would let you guys know that, and I did not want to talk about it, but it just seemed like a time that was.
No, you deserve your flowers too. I mean, what you're doing right now, a lot of people doesn't step up to do it, and getting out of that comfort zone to actually make your dreams and goals and things happen. You have to start somewhere, and that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, man.
I really appreciate that.
So,
It does take a lot of time and energy, and people don't realize it. I don't do a lot of editing in my videos, but I do a lot of research and I do a lot of time and look for it. I know you know that. I know I've talked to you about it and probably exhausted your time too talking about. But I'm excited. I learn about it and grow, and we're all growing and learning. Speaking of that, what was the creative process like for the Finding My Own Way EPs? Did you have a particular theme or experience that shaped the tracks?
so it's my Kentucky, Indiana roots.
Yeah, that's one of the tracks on Volume 2, right?
Yeah, track the last one, 5.
Yeah.
Um, so it's the Kentucky, Indiana roots. That's where it came from and inspired. Life has had its shares up and downs, and between the two, from me growing up in Kentucky and then being raised in Indiana, that is where it all started and shaped who I am. I always had interest in music my whole life. Either dabbed in it or just being a lover and listening to it. I think music is sometimes can be spiritual. I believe God had. I am a believer of God, and without God, I know I would not be here today. There's been many times in my life where I should not be here, but I am. So I owe everything to him. First, I want to say that I owe everything to God, and I think God, one of the gifts that He gives us is music, because I think sometimes life doesn't give you the answers, but it can give you a song, and I think a lot of people relate through songs, and I think
Yeah,
it's just a
it's a good point. I
wonderful
mean,
gift.
talks about. I mean to cut you off. My sister does not talk about that stuff a lot. She talked about when I met my wife 22 years ago. Unfortunately, lost my grandmother as well, and I started writing poems. You talked about you changed my poem into a song. And speaking of my wife, I was actually wrote it for my grandmother. I wrote a song called The Vase, or a poem called The Vase, and
Yeah,
actually that's one of the ones I want to turn into a song. But I started writing these poems about items, household items, and my sister said that it's like God was talking to me. Um, some people call him God. Some people call it God or a spirit guide or whatever that talks to you. And she said it was like God was talking to me, but I can understand that and relate to that. Definitely, anyone can. I feel. I would say that um, it's a magical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a religious thing. Whatever you want to say. It's anyone can relate to that. It's a feeling you have. It's a guttural thing, if you want to say that too.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, I
I,
I don't think anyone should ever look negative upon that for sure. Um, that's a really good message. Um,
I
looking,
eventually I realized that if I didn't start sharing them, they would just stay in a notebook. Probably until the day I die, then people get to explore them or be introduced to them. Then it's too late. I mean, yeah, it goes on and people can read them, but they wouldn't be able to hear it. They wouldn't be able to hear the emotions, the feeling. That's why I decided to do this.
yeah, one of the most amazing artists right now we haven't mentioned is Cody Johnson, and Until You Can't.
No, yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's I mean what are we talking about here? You can always go fishing another time till you can't. You can always talk to your father till you can't, right? Um,
that's right.
I talk to our good friend, you know who it is, all the time. He always says, "You can let you go. I gotta let you go." My dad's calling me, and he's lost his father now. Last decades that I've been friends with him, or whoever, my wife as well, whoever called me, they let me go or something. My parents are calling me, whoever. I don't have my parents. I call myself, not jokingly or whatever, an orphan. But whoever, if they're on the phone and saying they got to go, I go, answer it, do whatever, You never know. You never get that call again. Don't be bored with it, man. And let him. Morgan Long talks about it with his mom. Let her talk to you about stupid sewing or whatever. I don't want to say stupid, but whatever. Let her talk to you about whatever it is, or your dad, or whatever it is. Because you're not gonna get that time again.
And I'll share a small short story real fast that there's truth in that. I was at work one day a few years ago, and I was in a meeting, and my son, one of my sons, he worked the late night shift, and every morning when he got off, he always called me and say, "Hey, um, on my way home, I just want to tell you I love you and have a good day." Or we having dinner together. He'd always just do that every day. Well, I didn't take his call. Kept ignoring it. Well, something told me that I had to call him back. And when I did, he had been in a bad accident where he almost lost his life.
Wow.
And the only thing I could hear was him breathing and gasping.
Wow.
And so there's so much truth into what you're saying.
Oh, Danny, you're like taking us on a Minecraft journey. Like every time I think we found bedrock, you like take us down to another level, dude. Like you keep on taking us down. I appreciate that. Wow. I can't go through these questions when you keep doing that, though. We have to go through these questions, dude. I mean, looking at volume 2, how does volume How does Finding My Own Way Volume 2, the EP, building on the first one, were there any key differences in your approach this time around? And you kind of touched on that. But actually, I want to go further from little Grok. Here's my wife calls him Gronk. Grok's to go on Grok's question here. How would you define them as different? Just like a one word or one sentence. How would you define the style? And you know a lot about music as well as I do, but how would you define the style separate between those two EPs?
So, like I said, I theme everything. So, in my catalog, I organize everything to this is my upbeat, heart-strong string songs. This is my my emotional songs. This is my deep, I don't want to go to kind of songs. This is my depression songs. This is my stress. This is my love and my joy. This is the what if songs. You know what I mean? So I category everything into a theme. Then around that I try to build a story. So everything from 1 to 5 in the volumes that I'll be doing, 1, 2, 3, and 4, it tells a story from the beginning of the song to the end. And that's what I want everybody to feel. So that's basically how I come about it. All the volumes are going to be the same journey. It's just getting deeper each time a new volume comes out emotionally to the next chapter of the story.
Right on, brother. I feel that definitely. Which track from debut EP? I kind of missed the mark on this one. Actually, I'm going to expand on that. Which track from the debut EP, or either one of them, or both, if you want to answer, are you most proud of, and why?
I think when the light came through in Finding My Own Way.
Yeah.
But I am extremely proud of I Was Your Strawberry Wine because that's everybody's favorite. It's the most listened to, it's the most streamed and downloaded one. And every time everybody hears that, and I have to give credit to the original Strawberry Wine because it was already something somebody fell in love with.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's
you instantly go to that, and users think of that, or listeners go to that too.
It's a memory that they had before, even if they just heard it for the first time. And I think people are like, wow, the perspective from the guy. I mean, that's pretty much what that song is. It's the perspective from the male. What could have happened? It didn't happen. Doesn't mean it should have happened. But there's a sense of him reflecting back and saying, even though we're not together, but I was your strawberry wine.
Yeah, it's a very touching song, definitely. Which track from the debut, what's a lyric or a moment? You kind of talked about that on the lyric there. What's a lyric or moment in it that really hits home for you? I know you got me on the family one, you bugger. I didn't call you that in text. I called you something else, but we're going to try to keep it low.
Yeah. That's a hard one. There's a lot.
Sure.
I think you're talking about we're a fam. We're still family, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The
The father thing, because you and I both lost our fathers. I lost mine unbelievably almost 27 years ago now. So
yeah, I the beginning of that song, most definitely.
it was rough growing up without him. But yeah, go ahead.
That one, and I think She Don't Love Me Anymore.
Sure.
When you look in her eyes and she's already packed up and moved on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough. It's a brutal one to get through.
Right. So you know, and also you know, when the light came through, you know, Mama tried her best, but the demons won. And Daddy left his name. You know, that was when they got divorced.
Yeah.
And also what I mean by he left his name, he moved on and something else. And that was hard. But then also it's when he died and gone too. So it's two different references there. When the family broke, and then when he left.
Good. I'm glad you went into that. I was going to ask you about that when we talked offline. Obviously, I'm glad you answered that. That's good. I like that. So for volume 2, is there a song that stands out as your favorite, or one that was the most challenging to create? I think you touched on it.
I mean, some of them were really challenging because they were emotional to get through. But
sure. Love Me Anymore.
I Love You Yesterday was really hard.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Sorry to get passionate here. I couldn't contain it. I'm such a passionate guy. It was hard for me so far. I could keep this contained. The drop later on in that song is so good. I love that so much.
I Love You Yesterday was really hard to do. I bet I did that 50 times to get that.
I don't want to say that because I want to ruin it for other listeners. That is my favorite part of your favorite song. That part right there. Oh,
which one?
Break it down at the end. Love You Yesterday.
Oh, that beat. That
yeah. Oh,
I was trying to find the perfect heartbeat sound of a drum.
You did. And you told me that. Yes.
And I couldn't find it, and I was playing around digitally on the music instruments in my software, and I probably had done it 50 times. And I got so fed up, I just put my hands up and I just went like this down, you know, like
like this. That. Yes, that's great.
And then it was already recording, and it hit that drum just right. And I was like, "What was that?" And you know, I did it again. And I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "That is perfect." Yeah, and I just towards the end of the song, that heartbeat, man, that was an accidental finding, but I was ready to not even do it because I was getting so overwhelmed. But yeah, I Love You Yesterday. Yeah.
The rest of the questions you've already answered. So I think we're going to go to that part because you got to get out of here. But that is we're going to go to that. That's so good. We skipped ahead a little bit here because I think it's at the end. Oh, I love when it drops. This is I Love You Yesterday. It just becomes more clear, so I'll say it while I still can. Oh, cold chills. With everything I am, I love you yesterday, today, tomorrow, and the day after, forever and always. For the one beside me, for the ones above me, for the ones who shape my heart in hard days. This is my promise, this is my prayer for every soul I'll carry anywhere. I love you yesterday, today, tomorrow, and the day after, forever and always. So good, man. Love it.
That song, I wrote that for everyone. That's a dedication to everyone in my life. It doesn't matter if you were negative. Doesn't matter if you wronged me. It doesn't matter if you loved me. Doesn't matter if you're a cheerleader, a son, daughter, now a grandchild. You know?
That's right.
Um,
Congratulations on that.
yeah, thank you.
Everyone listening to Danny just became a grandfather for the first time.
Yeah,
How's the baby doing?
everything's going well. They're doing good. They're doing real good. Thanks for asking.
Mom and dad doing good too?
Yeah, they're doing good, man.
All right, great to hear. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up here. That was great. I appreciate you having the patience, kindness, understanding, and going through this event for me the first time. Couldn't even think of a better person to do it with the first time, and
No,
I think it went
it's
off
an
pretty
honor.
much without a hitch. It did pretty good. They did pretty good stuff here. We did have
No,
two. Go ahead.
you need your flowers too. You're a great interviewer.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It is making me learn to listen. I kind of talk over people sometimes, and I like doing it. Actually, I learned a lot, and I probably watch this a few times, and I'm sure other people will as well. I need to learn to promote it and share it more. I've been burning the candle both ends, learning how to do this. Shout out to StreamYard for being this kind of seamless kind of thing. We kind of learned this together, Danny. It was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
StreamYard actually has other things that you can get into different platforms. They try to sell you different tier levels. Of course, my wife always we joke about Lux. We don't have the Lux package. They always try to sell you the Lux package, but
Right.
this was just the free trial, so it worked out pretty good. I did mess up on YouTube. I have two ones. One's a streaming service live, and one was through YouTube's version. So I did learn that. I did share it when we were in there. You didn't know that, Danny. When I was asking you questions, you were answering, and I was sharing it with my friends. And I'm sure when you release, if you don't mind, ask you now on the spot here, when you release your volume 3 in April and your volume 4 in May, maybe we'll have a follow-up go live event, and we'll get better at this, right?
I would be honored, man. And that's the thing, we're on this journey together,
We sure are. That's what I say every time. We're all in this together. My magical middle E, where all my friends say you got a good thing going there.
Right.
I will tell everyone while we're on this live event that my channel is kind of a shout out to, and my animal was a black cat that we have named Sabbath. It's music for Black Sabbath. Her name was Savvy, is what we called her, Sabbath. That's why, and it's savvy because it's a frugal, savvy thing. And I try to get people to save money, save themselves, if you will. Also, be respectful to themselves and to others. Be honest with yourself as well. We're on an emotional journey. We're on a wellness journey. Not to get emotional too much here. Also, it's a shout out to our one we just lost. You and I both loved, one of our best friends' brothers. He has a business, and he changed the name of the business, and he put 2 lines in the middle of it. So that's what YouTube has a formatting thing, and I couldn't change it, so I changed the lines with the E in the middle of it. People aren't going to be able to find my channel because of those stupid lines. I say stupid, but I don't care. I'm not here to make money. I put those little lines in there for him. It's his nickname was Sweet. People are not going to know who he is, but Sweet put the little line in the business that our best friend has, and that's a shout out for him. A lot of people don't know that, but the Now That's Savvy channel is a shout out for my cat and a shout out for Sweet. He was to bring that all into town and out here. He was a very calm guy as well. I never saw him get mad, and I never saw Danny get mad. Never see my son get mad. I've never seen my wife really get mad except when I make her mad. People don't. I'm actually surrounded by a lot of calm people. I get mad, and I'm trying to work on that. I get passionate, and I actually surrounded by a lot of calm people, and I'm working on that. And like you said, this is a journey. We'll all get this. We'll all get better in this, I think, and I think we are. I think we are getting better in this if we help each other out. We surround ourselves with positivity, and we surround ourselves with the people that we need to get better. And I think that's what I'm doing, and I think that's what you're doing, man. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate you sharing some amazing, thoughtful words of wisdom, and they were. Thank you.
Well, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I know you said one last thing before you go. I know you said there was 145 platforms, and I do think that's going to take you a long time, but please, please, please give them to me. I will put them in the description, and I don't care. We're going to make sure we get this out there. Love you, man. Thank you so much.
Well, I would like to end on saying thank you, and I appreciate how much you've supported and how much you've took the time and invested into appreciating me as a person and a friend and my work and my art, and I'm supporting you the same way, Bob. I love you, and I think you're wonderful and great, and thanks for the opportunity. And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to figure life out. And if my music can be a small part of somebody else's journey, then I'm grateful for that. Plus, therapy is expensive. So writing and listening to music is a lot cheaper. So
it sure is.
And
if we can help that ties into Let's Be Savvy. Now that's savvy. We're helping people be a little bit cheaper there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Those kind of words. You ain't gonna get me crying, buddy. You already did that. I love you too, man. I love you so much. You know that. Wow, you are an inspiration to me, brother. You know that, and I'm glad you said those kind words. I watched YouTube channels, and I talked about it on Monday. They're always trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to be honest. And I love that message from you. I love that you said that. One of the YouTube channels I watched said, if I can help one person, it is all worth it. And I mean that from the deepest part of my soul and heart.
It is. Just another final note. Don't be afraid to start. Just start. Who cares if you're perfect or not?
Look at your sign
Just
behind
start.
you. Show them your sign. Show them your sign. Your sign
Just
behind
start.
you. Believe in yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, and you're halfway there. That's
right on, man.
Right on. Yes.
Love you, man.
Love you.
Love everybody that listens. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good one.